Yeah. Yeah, you made it lock in. Court lights flicker, I'm feeling that tip-off fever. NBA dreams spin tight like a crossover sleeper. Fourth and inches in the cold, crowd breathing like smoke. NFL grit in my voice when the pressure get woke. Engine scream through the night, that F1 razor. Lines cut clean, turn sharp like a hometown savior. NASCAR drift in my blood when the pace gets wild. I talk speed like a veteran, move calm like a smile. Legends born out of sweat, out of heartbreaks echo. I break plays down smooth, call the game like a maestro. Every lane that we touch, every story we show, this is where the truth runs. The Not Bland Show. Fast, race, whole crowd froze. Big drives, deep shots, watch the moment is slow. Every angle hit heavy with a champion's glow. Step into the kingdom, the Not Bland Show.
Lock in.
You made it, ladies and gentlemen, and let's lock in to the Not Bland. I'm your host, Dujanae Bland, and today we have a special guest. You know, I remember being in the media center. I was positioned in a position that I'm normally not in at the Gator Nationals, and I just so happened to be sitting by a lady named Sadie Glenn. She said to watch out for her husband, Glenn. And that's why I tell you guys, I was on the Dallas Glenn bandwagon before anybody else ever even. When people started talking about it, I was already there. So all this time, all this hard work that she's put in, and guess who wins at the Norwalk Summit Racing Equipment Nationals? Sadie Glenn and Top Dragster. Absolutely amazing. So there's no reason why I could not have her on the show today. So it's going to be fun. We're going to have a good time. And look, I want to thank everybody who's tuned in today. If you're not subscribed to this show, please do. Helps us out. Trying to get sponsors. We're trying to go bigger, like ESPN Radio bigger. So every little bit helps. Again, thank you to Everything Nitro, DragRaceReference.com, where we get our stats. Of course, Sports Journey, VTR and Sports, and Drag Race Bracket Bonanza. Another crazy weekend of Drag Race Bracket Bonanza play. There's some things that happened this weekend that I don't think anybody saw that was not on their bingo card, and it definitely wasn't on my bingo card. So if you guys have not gotten involved with this game, I keep saying this, but I don't know what you're doing with your life. Like, you should already be here by now. You should already be in the Not Bland Show League, and you should already be playing. But hey, it's neither here nor there. Maybe you haven't heard it. It's the first time. So if it is your first time, we're going to go and pay these bills. It's going to tell you how you can get involved. And after this, we're going to have top dragster winner, Sadie Glenn.
Drag racing fans, check out Drag Race Bracket Bonanza. It's the free, family-friendly fantasy bracket game. Now, after final qualifying at every national event, you can fill out your bracket for all the pro classes.
It's free, easy to click on your picks. If you need some help, just hit the randomizer button to fill in the blanks. It's for fun, stay engaged, and pick your winners today.
Sadie, what's going on?
Hi.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Is it a little weird being on this end of things? You're basically handling your clients, you're taking pictures, you're doing all these things for your clients, and now you're on their end of things now.
Yeah, I don't know how much I dig it, honestly. I like being a behind the scenes kind of gal. I know since Dallas started racing, I've been kind of on TV more, celebrating and screaming like "Let's go!" like when he wins. 'Cause I don't know why I transfer into like such a like a frat boy Chad, but I do. So yeah, I've always liked to be behind the scenes. And so when I won and rounded the corner, I was like, uh-oh, I have to give an interview. And I didn't think Amanda would interview me because she's up there for the pros. So I was like,
Right.
okay, I got to remember to like write on my hand or something by the time I get up to Joe for the Parade of Champions.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my gosh, I get to do that. That's crazy. Like, how many times have I done it with clients? And I was like, this is just crazy. But yeah, Amanda like starts like after I didn't stop crying, but she's like, Sadie, come over here. I was like, oh no, she wants to interview me. I was like, ay, okay. So I don't remember that interview at all. I totally blacked out. I didn't thank Dallas at any point, which he thinks is hilarious. He's like, I really don't give a crap. Like I was like, thank God. But I just felt so bad. I was like, he's done all this work on the car. Like he has rebuilt this engine so many times. And I don't thank him. Like that's nuts.
There was a lot going on.
Oh man.
It was a lot going on. And
Yeah.
it looked like the moment, I think you were in the moment, but you were like, I can't believe this is happening. Like, I actually did this.
Yeah. I was like, what the heck is even happening? I just don't even wait, hold on. Tana Henry's here. So no, we're not gonna bark. Okay, so so I just it really still doesn't even I know it's only been 2 days, but it really doesn't feel like it feels very out of body. And I just don't even I really don't even know. And I talk all the time. And I really don't have any words for this, which is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a lot of work. I mean, I don't think fans understand the amount of work that you've put in to get this car to where it's been. It's been a lot of ups and downs. There's been a lot of, you know, like, what the heck's going on with this car?
Yeah.
And it seems like now the car is really starting to come around. It's being more consistent, and you guys seem to be having less issues with it as well.
Yeah. So when we first bought the car, the engine at the time was built by Jason Lyon and Greg Anderson, and it sat in our shop, well, their shop for 5 years, just collecting dust. And so I contacted Ken Black. I was like, I would like to purchase this, like hoping he would give me a discount or something. He's like, well, just roll it out of the shop. And I was like, no. Like, I'm not calling for like a free 99 deal. They put a lot of work into this. Like, that's not what I'm trying to do. I mean,
Right.
a couple grand off would be sick, but like I'm very realistic. And so he's like, he's it was right before the merger with KB Titan. Well, like when we became KB Titan.
Mhm.
And Ken's like, I own the team for 6 more months. Go talk to Greg and make sure it's okay with him at least. And I was like, this is nuts. So it had a lot of like super like trick stuff that is cool in concept. Like if it was for like a street rod car, like super top of the line stuff. But like for bracket racing, unfortunately, we learned for a very long time that it wasn't conducive to like printing tickets.
Yeah.
And like I was like, this is so cool. Like the concept, like I don't know how they thought of this. Like Jason built the majority of it, and he's just so smart.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, like dual carbs, like in theory, super sweet. But we just could not get it to run. And it was so weird. And it was like 2 years of just getting punched in the face. And it doesn't help that I would race like 5 times a year. So I didn't have like a lot of shots at it. And,
Right.
it was Norwalk 2 years ago. that I was just sitting in the trailer and I was like, Dal, like, I'm not a give up kind of gal, but like after 2 years of this, my soul is tired. And I was like, maybe like we should just take a hint. Like, this is so gnarly to go through.
Yeah.
And to have, especially to have Dallas just, like, I don't like to work on the car during work hours. So it's usually Dallas, like, I get to keep my car at the shop in my trailer, like off to the side, which is very kind.
Yeah.
But like, it takes 20 minutes to get to the shop. You got to hook up the trailer, hook it back, and so poor Dal is working until like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'm just like, I don't know how many more times I can put him through it. He says
Right.
he's fine, but I can't watch this anymore. Like, this is unfair. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. So, 2 years ago in Norwalk, I just was like, okay, this is it, because it was my last race of that season. Like, I wasn't going to go to Indy. And I don't think we were running like the fall Charlotte. So I was like, okay, this is my last race anyways, because
Yeah.
the rest of them were on the other side of the country. So I was like, okay. I told Dallas, I was like, okay, I'm either going to run it off a cliff or set it on fire, but I'm giving you the choice. Like, you can figure out which way you want it to go, but I'm giving you two options. And he basically told me, like, he would give me some time to have a pity party and then to get over it. And then, so like a week later, I was like, okay, I said, let me just purchase everything that everyone else has. I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel. Like, there's a reason
Right.
everyone has like a single carburetor, or like this brand of this and this brand of this. Like, I don't need to be a trendsetter. I just literally want the car to be runnable, because at that
Right.
time it wouldn't get off the starting line. And when we would fix something over here, it would come up with like a new issue over here. And
Yeah.
I'm like, how do I have people like Dallas and Greg Anderson like suicidal over this engine? Like, they're like, we don't understand why it's like, we've never seen anything like it. Like, so I was like, okay, well, they're the smartest people I know.
Right.
What am I doing? So, so we bought single carburetors. We did a bunch of stuff. We tracked a bunch of it. So this is the first time I've ever run alcohol in a car. Like, when I ran in the early 2000s and the 20-aughts, I always just ran. I don't even remember what I ran, honestly. We would have to ask my dad. But it wasn't alcohol, that's for sure.
Like
And
Cam 2
so,
race gas or something like that.
yeah, like something like not alcohol. And so
Yeah.
back then, people were like, my dad was scared of alcohol. He's like, I've seen so many, like, all of a sudden, like, trailers on fire and stuff. So so we learned that a lot of my troubles could be tracked back to a bad drum of fuel, which was weird. So it
Interesting.
was a brand new drum of fuel that sat from like November to February, and we didn't know that it goes bad
Right.
per se. And so we like buy a new drum and put it in the car, and the car just goes straight down. I was like, oh my God, I'm so annoyed. It was like, okay, the amount of money I have spent, like,
Right.
yikes. I said, and so a lot of it obviously was with this, that, and the other thing. Like, but I was like, you got to be kidding me. We could have just bought another drum of fuel or like a 5-gallon little baby thing, and it would have been fine. Or we could at least started there. I was
Yeah.
like, no, yeah. So
Too simple.
it's easy. Yeah, of course, it's like the most simplest thing. So
Of course.
of course it is funny that 2 years later, I'm going to win the race in Norwalk. I was like,
Yeah.
That was nuts.
That is crazy.
Right. What I'm going to do is it is bright out here. Don't mind me. No. Henry thinks we're going somewhere. We ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's already been on the road.
I know. Bless him. He has been. Oh, that didn't really help at all. Henry, come here. So sorry.
It's all good. It's all good.
Okay. Let me get him, or he's not going to stop barking. Hold on.
Yeah, no problem. So, I mean, guys, 2 years of work. I remember in Gainesville, she had an issue with the car, and that was a few years ago. And it just seemed like at every turn, they were just always hunting something. And now it seems like the car's running really well and well enough for her to win a Diamond Wally. I mean, of all years to win a Wally, you win a Diamond one. So it's really cool to see.
Very treat motivated.
Yes. So it's really cool to see this whole thing come together. I mean, it's a lot of hard work that's went into getting you to this point where the car is consistent. It's really ironic, though, that you wanted to quit after Norwalk and then you come here 75th year and you win the Diamond Wally.
I know. And not
Amazing.
only like I was like, I when in junior dragsters, they had like little baby. I don't have any more treats. I'm sorry, brother. They had like little baby Wallies, like even smaller than the ones that they have at divisionals. And I had won 2 of those when I was like 16 or 17, and there was a transition to Wally plaques.
Yeah.
So it was like this really cool like wooden plaque thing with like an elevated Wally. But I was so disappointed. Like I finally, like all the good kids aged out and I finally won a Wally, and it wasn't even a Wally. And I mean, I still have them. I'm super proud of them. Like I'm going to put them up in my office at our new house once that's done. But to actually like get a physical Wally, perfect. I was that is amazing. Like Dallas is so sweet. Like we always joked, like we have this like $2 IKEA shelf that like I started putting Dallas's Wallies on. That's crazy. Look at that. So I mean, these little IKEA shelves, you know, and we started like, they're like kind of encaving right now, like going like this. But Dallas is like, we're going to keep adding until it breaks. I was like, whatever, dude. And, but I always joked, I said, if I ever win one, I'm shoving all of yours to the side because you've got 25. They're old news.
Yeah.
They're old news. And I'm putting a spotlight. And so, I drove home like the 8-9 hours yesterday with Henry, and Dallas went golfing, which is great. But I walk in and he like shoved all the trophies over, and there was a little note that said reserved for Sadie's Diamond Wally.
That's awesome.
Golly.
I saw that on Instagram too. That was awesome.
He's so.
Did you cry again?
Yeah, I said, okay, I just got done. Like, I'm not a big crier to begin with, but I was like, okay, not only have I literally just stopped crying from Sunday at 5, and I walk in and I'm just me and my dog, and I see this, and I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. I was like, that's crazy. I know, and it's so funny. Like, he's got his little buoy, and like that's crazy. Yeah, we're gonna have to do something at the house once. We just live in a townhouse right now, so we're gonna have to figure out something cool for that.
Yeah, that's right. Your house is being built right
now. Yeah. After like 10 years of saving moolah and all the things, we're finally. Yeah, it should be done. They said like mid-November, early December, which would be super sweet. They said as long as it's in the off season, that's great.
And hopefully before the holidays. That would be pretty cool.
Oh yeah, that would be great because we typically go home, usually spend like a week with my parents in Oregon and then another week with my in-laws in either Washington State or Nevada, depending on where they are. Because some of my brother and sister-in-law with the first grandbaby live in Washington, so
Oh, okay,
usually we
cool.
trek on up there, just so they don't have to travel and everything. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Uh,
so before the holidays would be mint.
yeah. Drag Race Mayo says your thoughts on the whole fast car versus slow car debate.
Wow. Okay. So my I think it's awesome that people are talking about Top Dragster. And when it first started, a lot of people were calling me and they were like, "Oh my gosh, like I thought you and the Bosches were friends." And I said, "We are. Like Darian's one of my husband's best friends and I love Mario. I think he's hilarious."
Yeah.
Like I get both sides of it. I kind of don't like being a 680, 690 player. I don't really like have a horse in the race per
Yeah.
se, but when I used to race Top Dragster, I was like a 740 hitter. But in Division 6 at the time, that was fine. It's
Yeah.
been many moons since then, but so I kind of feel partial to that. If I had the money, would I buy all the Pro Chargers or all the nitrous bottles I could find? Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
But I am racing within my means, and I think that's the best part of bracket racing in general is yes, it's so great to be the fastest, but I've never really cared about that. Unless I was like in a heads up category. Like
Right.
obviously if you're like when it's bracket racing, I really don't care what you run. Like I'm
Yeah.
either going to be like I'm used to being chased, which is fine. That's why I got those little baby mirrors to see if they're coming or not. And
Right.
then it was kind of cool that Kenny and I were literally dialed the same in the finals. I was like, this kind of feels like a stock eliminator heads up, but not really, like,
Yeah.
like I just love that stuff. So I see both sides of it. I get it. But I kind of like being a slower car. The
Yeah.
fabric. Yeah, the fabric. Yeah. Target
I have those
special.
too somewhere. Yeah,
Oh
I think
yeah,
I
it's yeah.
they're great. They're great.
We're classy over here. Thank you very much.
How much did your phone blow up? I mean, most
Oh
people were there.
my.
Like Allie was there. Most of the media people were there. But how much did your phone
Well,
blow up?
so I still had my Apple Watch on, and just immediately, like the twist lock thing is terrible. What do you mean? What does that mean?
What you mean, Fred?
What do you mean, Fred? Twist locks. I don't know what that means.
Me neither.
So
We'll figure
I'm
it out.
interviewing with Amanda, and all of a sudden, just it's like zzz, zzz, zzz. I was like, oh my god! And like people are trying to call me, and I just got off the track. I was like, I can't answer a phone right now. This is
Right.
like I can't. Sorry, guys. No, Mario was already gone. By the time I didn't get no ice, but I did talk to him yesterday on my drive home. And not only do I get a big bag of ice, I get a pit reporter shirt at the next race we're both at. So
That's
Mario is funny, like so funny. I raced him first round. So we had a double divisional last weekend in Norwalk. And I was like, okay, cool. I can get 3 races and grade points in a 2-week span.
We can put those shelves
okay.
together.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I don't
No,
like those
dude,
either.
this sucks so bad. You're not wrong. Like,
Yeah, they're terrible.
Ugh. so bad. But these are like 10 years old, so like so far so good.
Yeah.
Okay, back to Mario. We love him. Okay, so the second divisional, I get Mario first round, and I was like, yes. Yes. And unfortunately, he had engine troubles, which I do feel super bad about. But at the top end, like he's cheeky. At the top end, I said, "Where's my ice?" And that was before I knew he hurt his engine. Like I just figured he like shook or something. And
Yeah.
so then I felt a little bit bad because I'm not a good shit talker at all. And so I was like, I'm so sorry. Like, I didn't know you hurt your engine. I thought you just shook and then didn't show up, like didn't make it or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, we talked yesterday. He's a hoot. So I'm so excited to support my new shirt.
Yeah. That'll be awesome. That'll be
Yeah.
awesome. That is cool, man.
Yeah.
I'm really happy for you, Sadie. This is
Thanks.
it's really cool, and it's something that like people see. You put in all the hard work, and just when you thought that you might give up, Dallas, good deal, buddy.
Yeah.
That was smart, and all the hard work pays off in a big way
Yeah.
with being able to get a diamond Wally like this, and an ice cream scoop to go with it.
Yes. Like, so they hand me the wallet, and not only is like I've held Dallas's Wallies before, like when he has to like go up on stage, but
Yeah.
I don't know. This one felt different. Like that's so cheesy. So they hand me the Wally and then the scoop, and the scoop was so heavy. I was like, I'm literally emotionally and physically exhausted. And you want me to like lift both of these things?
Right.
And just hold them in general. I was like, okay, I have no upper body strength. It's so bad. And I was like, we're fine. Like, it's so, the scoop was so cool. I can't wait. I think I'm going to actually eat ice cream out of it. I don't even care.
Taylor Deach said he was going to use his this
Yeah.
upcoming weekend. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd use
Yeah,
it.
because it's 4th of July. Yep. Send it. Yep.
Yeah. That's awesome. That is so awesome. When is your
I
next
know.
race?
Gosh, okay, so Dallas has officially turned into a pageant mom. He called me on my drive home. He goes, "Okay, listen, I've done the math. You're like in the top 20 nationally now." And I was like, "That's crazy."
That is crazy.
He goes, "Okay, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna now I'm adding Cecil to your schedule because that's a divisional and a sports nats. So you can get another divisional and a national event. And then I think that's like the weekend before Brainerd. So in like a month or two. So he's already got me like booked and busy. And I was like, and he's like, okay. And then obviously you were already going to go to Rockingham, the national, and then the double there just to get grade points. So I'm like, he's such a numbers guy.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, I literally like, I'm just trying to make it home. And he's like, well, we're going to do this. We're going to do this. I was like, okay. I was like,
excited.
Okay, yeah, which is so sweet. Like I mean, Dallas gets excited kind of when he wins. Like he'll go like, yeah, like on the top of the car.
Right.
But Dallas, I'll never forget when I got my top alcohol license in 2013. Like I get back to the pits and I'm all excited. And he's just like smiling. And I was like, oh, like not that I'm disappointed in your reaction, but I thought you would be a little more excited. And he's like, I'm excited in here. And so like, that's totally Dallas. And so to see the videos of him, like very excited, I was like, who is this guy? It's like, oh my God, this person is possessed.
Yeah. That's pretty awesome though.
Yeah.
You're always
hi Mac.
Hey,
how are you?
There he is.
Yeah.
There he is.
Oh, gotta go for that single digit, baby. That's so much
Agreed.
pressure. Oh my God. If I had a single because I still keep my Division 6 number because I'm 1, lazy, and 2, It's just like, I love that people think I'm driving all the way from Division 6 to race over here.
Yeah.
And if I had a single digit, that'd be freaking crazy.
It would be. It would be.
I was like, okay, like let's just enjoy this for now. I love that he's popping in like that, though.
Yeah, that's cool.
He's still at the shop right now. He's
working. Thanks, Dallas, for tuning in. I appreciate it.
I know.
That's
so
awesome.
Sweet.
That's awesome.
Pageant mom, I'm telling you.
Yeah, he's got you all planned out. So
Oh
it's going to be a good one.
I mean,
I get that single digit.
Worse. You know, he could be like, yeah. So I guess, yikes, I win one race. And now I'm like,
hey, but you know what this does?
The world or something. I'm like, dude.
Well, you've broken through. Look at everybody who got their first win. Richard Gadsden got his first win. Now the guy can't stop winning. Ron Capps, after being the bridesmaid, you break through one time and boom, now all of a sudden the winning just starts coming. You're gonna be fine. You broke through the glass ceiling. It's gonna start rolling now.
Right, I know, and
that's
I'll
how
never
this
forget
works.
like Erica's first win. Like after that, it was just like chopping down.
Yeah.
I was like, I mean, obviously, I would love that for me, but if hi Walter, I like so sorry. I keep just like I'm like okay. Oh, I did. So I was on their show with Dallas, and I use this as a backdrop too because we really don't have anything else in this house, and this looks cool. And I was like, if I ever win a Wally, I'm gonna push everything. And look at here we are.
Dead center.
Dead center. I
Dead
know.
center.
I know. And
That's
Dallas
awesome.
has like such a cool like array. I really love that like black like pewter one he won for I think it was a 1,000th pro stock race he won it in Vegas.
Yeah.
That's so cool. But
That is cool.
I love her. She's great.
Fantastic.
And she's so pretty. I was like, come on. I was like,
is.
don't drop it. Don't drop it. Just
can't drop that.
Golly. Just
Can't
you got
drop
one mission, girl.
That's it.
Yeah.
Well, you've got one of the best in the business, and it's going to be fun to see this whole thing come together for the rest of the season. I think they got a real good shot now at getting a few more. You've broken through the glass ceiling.
I'm definitely gonna show up and keep trying. That's for sure.
Where's the scoop?
Ooh, I think it's still in my trailer. Yeah, or it might be in the back of Dallas's truck because I had like all of like because I stayed in my race trailer in Norwalk and like an inflatable bed.
Yeah.
I mean, I had my espresso machine, my microwave, and the showers at Norwalk are super good. So I was like, send it. So I had like Dallas's truck is such a mess right now because of me. It's got all of his freaking all of my like the comforter and the sleeping bags. And so I just put the Wally like in the sleeping bags. I was like, be safe, go to bed. And so I'm sure the scoop is somewhere in the abyss of the back of Dallas's truck in the sleeping bags. Very safe.
Yeah, it was. It was a hot weekend. Very hot weekend there.
Yeah. And especially Sunday, like I was mid 80s at the divisional the week prior and Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And then we woke up Sunday and I was like, it is so gross out here. And so, I mean, I dialed a 693 in the finals. I mean, that was, I haven't been in the 90s in forever. So it was just super muggy out there. There was nothing we could do about it. So thankfully it's a bracket race, I was like, here we go. Yeah,
exactly. Well, Sadie, thank you so much for taking the time and congratulations. I'm so happy for you. To see you and go through all this process to put in the work and it finally pay off. I couldn't be more ecstatic for you. So go win some more this year and get that single digit, will you?
Oh my gosh. If I do, I'm just going to collapse and pass out. I'm just going to just keel over, and it'll be out of pure happiness.
Indeed. Thanks,
Awesome.
Sadie.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. Sadie Glenn, everybody. That was awesome. And I agree. It was one of the coolest weekend wins all weekend long. That was special. I mean, like I said, a lot of hard work went into this thing, and for her to be able to cap it off there, and really ironic how you were going to quit there, and thanks to Dallas, you kept pushing and you cap it off and get over. You thought that was going to be your last race. Yeah, we will definitely be there. We're going to make time. That's my camera guy, ladies and gentlemen. You know that. Everybody knows that. We will take a break, and then we will go into our drag race bracket top 10. I'm actually 43 in Bracket Bonanza land for the 2026 season. So I'm excited about that. But we'll go and we'll see who's in the top 10 when we come back after the break.
Drag racing fans, check out Drag Race Bracket Bonanza. It's the free, family-friendly fantasy bracket game. Now, after final qualifying at every national event, you can fill out your bracket for all the pro classes.
It's free, easy to click on your picks. If you need some help, just hit the randomizer button to fill in the blanks. It's for fun, stay engaged, and pick your winners today.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for our Drag Race Bracket Bonanza Top 10. And I'm excited about this because this thing is getting real tight, and I am very, very much so interested to see how the rest of the season goes. But again, some of the same people are hanging out at the top of this thing for the top 10. And here we are, number one, Stubby66 at 684 points, 0.829. In second, Black Widow, 1320, 683.59. Then you have in third, James Lose, 680.596. In fourth, SST 5345 at 680.063. In fifth, Magic Z28, 678.961. In sixth, O2 Plum and 678.658. Again, this person continues to stay in the top 10. Seventh, Cupcake at 677.805. In eighth, Jerry 40 Ford, 668.347. In ninth, CTS 3131 for 668.007. And to round out the top 10, it is Stan's Gallbladder at 667.268. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is your Drag Race Bracket Bonanza Top 10. What I find very interesting about the top 10, and we'll keep it up there, but what I find interesting about the top 10 is even though some have fallen out, like Jambo fell out of the top 10 into 13th place. You've got Black and HRA1 that's been kind of hanging out in the top 10 for a while, several weeks now, is in 12th. So not far out, but a little bit out. It's just amazing that they've been able to hang that far close into the top 10. I'm actually 43 in the season. I believe it was Kira Sage who said she was like 30, 33, 31 or something like that. So very interesting. Your winner over here for the Norwalk Nationals was Rotor for the overall. And Top Fuel, it was John 4 with 34.904, which it was pretty tough. Tough for me in Top Fuel, probably tough for a lot in Top Fuel. Kay Zadell, I think we know who that is. She does some things with the NHRA. I think she also writes for National Dragster, if that's who that is. She won Funny Car, 33.987 points. Then you have Pro Stock Greasy at 35.949 points, the winner there. And in Pro Stock Motorcycle, it was Jesse 925 at 31.985 points. Very close. Very close. Galvin was very close in that one. So, as usual, always one of those things, man, where it ain't easy trying to win these things. We'll take a look at our top 10 here in that's my bracket. As you can see, a lot of red. Still managed to keep things going, but a lot of red. Oh, hold on. We'll get it right eventually. So here's our top 10 for the Not Bland show. The Pits podcast gets the dub there for the Norwalk Nationals. But our top 10 is as follows. I am slowly chipping away at the lead that Nicole Clark has, slowly but surely, chipping away at it. She is still number one at 659 points, 0.275. Myself is in second, 641.541. You have WPR 58 in third at 612.175. Mac 1320 in fourth, 605.338. Memphis Lonnie hanging in fifth at 564.026 points. In sixth, Drag Race Girly 99 at 546.746. Look at who's in seventh. Coming from the deep, dark depths of the grave. Dave W. at 546.584. Ironhead Motorsports, 531.426 in ninth. And in eighth. Ninth is Fred G., my camera guy, 513.83. And rounding out the top 10 is Kelsey C. at 503.884. Very interesting. Very interesting. And the Pits podcast is just outside the top 10. Just outside the top 10. Not bad. Not bad. Always can be worse, right? Always can be worse. Well, ladies and gentlemen, great weekend of drag racing. We were in Knoxville, Tennessee. First and foremost, I want to let everybody know Wes in the group at Knoxville Dragway, a phenomenal job. There's the NHRA Safari, and then there's Wes and his group. The way that they were able to get that track dried after a monsoon, and not only dried, but every car from the first pair on went down the racetrack. Everyone. And some of these guys are leaving at 9,000 RPM on a night that was not too bad because of the rain, but definitely was a rough day. But they did a hell of a job getting the track prepared and allowing us to get qualifying in. Did not get through the first round. I thought it was going to split us and we were going to still get some time in. Eventually, we were going to get hit by rain. It wasn't a matter of if, it was a matter of when. We likely, if we could have gotten missed by that particular shower, we likely would have been able to go at least until about 11:30, 12 o'clock before being inundated with heavy rain and lightning. But that was not to be, as it did rain enough to call the action. We will be in Rockingham. That will be July 31st and August 1st. So the Ram Clutches Knoxville race will be it on Friday at Rockingham. So they will finish that on Friday, and then we will return on Saturday night and run the uh, the Rockingham race there. And I believe we are still looking for a sponsor for that race. So if you can do that, you can get in touch with me somehow. Um, and I'll put you in touch with those who can get you what you need so that you can sponsor this race. But if you're able to, that's a race you want to come to for sure. It's going to be great action. I think we're going to have great turnout. I think there's some things that they're trying to do as well. I'm hoping that they follow through on those. Car show within that. I'm hoping that these things materialize because I think it's only going to better it's going to better the crowd. It's going to get people to come out even more. So great weekend though. Even though we got rained out, great weekend for everyone, and look forward to going to Rockingham. So do I dare ask what those 2027 NHRA changes that I mentioned? I cannot release those. That's G14 classified, but you will know. That's for sure. I tell you, I'm really interested on where our TV deal goes, and I think in a couple of weeks that will be announced, from what I understand. So we'll see. Coming around the corner here, so we'll see what they decide to do. Mike says Erica Enders was back this weekend and going to win the race, but busted by bracket along with Greg Anderson and Leah as, oh well, maybe next race. Yeah, I had Greg. I believe I had Greg winning. I know I had Greg in the final. I had Nat Hartford winning. I did. Leah messed me up a little bit too because I think I had Sean and Leah in the final of Top Fuel. So I understand your pain there. And Proc ruined my weekend. I thought this would be a race that they would be able to turn it around a little bit, and it appears they still don't have a hot weather tune-up. Things are great when it's nice and cold and nice and cool. I'll say not cold, but very good track conditions, no sun on the racetrack. As soon as we get a little sun on the racetrack, they just don't have it yet. They just don't have it yet. Nitro Performance Guy says, I'm 13th. I'm still in the countdown with those rules. Yeah. Almost up to 16 is in the countdown according to the rules. Says, watch this TV deal be on Tubi. I just hope it's not something that's a step back, because I think we all understand sponsorships and sponsors seeing viewership. Do I think I hope it's something that involves them also being able to be on Amazon Prime? Absolutely. I think there's one of two ways you can go about it, to be honest. If Fox is not it, and if the CW is not part of it, which I would hope that they would, but I do think that having that lead in from NFL games or other sporting events is really important for drag racing and really important for NHRA drag racing, because you get viewership from people you likely would not get otherwise. And that's been proven time and time again when you've had those lead-ins or you've had those lead-ins from an NFL game. That's helped out tremendously. I think that NBC would be great for that as well. They have a variety of sports that, even people talk about, as far as like IndyCar and stuff like that. They're obscure. There are obscure sports that people you would probably think don't necessarily watch that lead in to those, and people also stay and watch. So I think those lead ins are important. If they can't do any of those, I think you have an app in an HRA TV that just if you step up the production a little bit and can work out the kinks, I'm sure that they are capable of negotiating being on Prime on their own, along with possibly negotiating being on an HBO Max type deal. I exactly. NBC and having the streaming ability on Peacock is very important, and it has worked wonders when WWE was on that. It does work, and it works for a lot of other sports. You can even watch Sunday Night Football on your local station or on Peacock. So there are lead-in possibilities there. Even maybe you even touch up and hit a race on a Netflix, possibly, because I think Netflix has done an excellent job in presenting the NFL. In some ways, I think their TV production is a little bit better than even some of your CBS productions. I thought they did it. They have a great crew, do an excellent job, and it's something that a lot of people have right now. Um, you know, just for various reasons. Um, but if you're, I don't think going to another streaming service that is not uh, an NBC or like we saw with, I think IHRA with the CBS Sports deal, that it's not going to be conducive. If you're going to go make a lateral move, keep your own streaming app, and then you do the negotiating on being on Prime or wherever you choose to be. I'm hoping that for whatever it is, that it's something that's going to move the NHRA forward. Again, I think they need to work really hard to be able to tighten up the windows to have more live events because we've proven that it can be done. It doesn't get done when I can run first and second round back to back, but then you tell me I don't get to see semifinals for an hour and 30 minutes. Um, that's not conducive to being on live TV and being live. I don't even understand it, even if it's tape delay. I don't understand it then. Um, why draw out a show longer than it needs to be is my thing. So, um, Drag Race Mayhem says World Endurance Championships is on HBO Max as well. They always do a great job. Yeah, I mean, they've got that. NASCAR has their what they used to have on DirecTV where you could, be with a particular driver. They also do some of the races over there as well. So, I think there's opportunity. Says or get us some of the 7 billion NASCAR's got. There's something that's got to be done because you want to move forward. You don't want to take steps back. You really don't. Because I think Fox has done. They've done a good job. They've done a good job, especially in the beginning. I don't think it's as great as it used to be because I don't feel like NHRA is the priority like they were. Um, but you have to do something to make sure that we're moving forward, sponsorship wise. That these ladies and gents and their sponsors are going to be seen on a grander scale, even more than what we have right now. And anything less than that, I believe, is taking a step back, and possibly, in my opinion, hurts the sport, especially in its ability to be seen live on TV. And I think that's where your viewership is going to be, important. So I guess in a few weeks or so, we'll find that out, what that's going to be. And yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I did catch a little bit of World Cup yesterday. Did not finish the game, but some great stuff going on over there. I still don't think the U.S. is going to go all the way. I think there's some better teams out there, but it has been fun watching all these other teams make plays, and you know, and soccer is just very interesting. Fred says ESPN has great shows, slippery stairs, a balloon not hitting the floor, so so hockey and pillow fighting. Yeah, yeah, right. And oh man, they just really didn't care. They really didn't care. They had a pretty decent production, but man, we would get bumped for a replay of softball. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see where they go. Really will be interesting to see where they go. Looks like we got some time off before our next NHRA race. I think it's the Western Swing now. So, and you know, I think they're going to be releasing the schedule soon. And me and Lee had a conversation about the schedule. And honestly, you got 3 races here, Sonoma, and then you're going to go to Pacific Raceways. You go to Brainerd, and it'll be U.S. Nationals. So that the next race isn't until July 17th through the 19th. So we've got a little bit of a break. To close the show out here, I'm going to say this. I feel like if and this is also on Competition Plus as well. If we had a feeling they were going to go back to Pomona being the first race at some point. If that is the case, then there needs to be a gradual progression to work across the country to get to Gainesville. I don't think that might mean that it's not the third race of the season. But I don't think it's cost effective to run 2 out west races and then work our way back and then go shoot all the way across the country to Gainesville in the third race. I think you can make an adjustment and you can run some of these Western Swing races and move yourself across the continent to Gainesville. That way, it's kind of like a guy who drives a truck, whether it's whether he's hauling and he hauls with a 3500 Dodge Ram and he has a big trailer or an actual 18-wheeler. You don't want to travel somewhere. Like there's always a strategy of making sure that person has a load as they work their way across to these different parts. And I don't think it's cost effective, and I don't think money wise it makes sense to go Pomona and then Arizona and then shoot all the way across the country with no races in between to go all the way to Gainesville. Work your way across. And that means there's going to have to be some adjustment in the schedule, and I think that's totally fine. If Gainesville is 2 weeks later in March, it's great. It works. They've done a great job with this year's schedule, and I think that if you're going to go back to Pomona, that's how you got to go about it and approach it, my opinion. And I think that's in the best interest of everyone. The production peaked with ESPN. Yep, it did. It really did. Memphis says, thoughts on Memphis trading John Morant to Phoenix. It was a matter of time. Ja just, he did everything. He's lucky to still be in the league. He did everything he could to kind of ruin his career. I think it has run its course with him there. They had a window to win a championship with him, and unfortunately, his maturity just wasn't there enough for them to be able to capitalize on that. And at some point, the two sides must part ways. It's the same thing I feel about LeBron and him. Everybody's like LeBron is leaving LA, but I mean, let's be honest here. LA understands that they cannot pay LeBron top dollar and then expect to have the ability to compete like these other teams have because they actually have quality people that are on the bench. When you pay a person of his stature that kind of money, you make sacrifices with your second team that your rotation. Your rotation is not nearly as good because you can't afford to pay quality people to be on the squad because you've got this big lump sum going to LeBron, and then you also got to pay Luka. So I'm okay with it. Thanks, LeBron, but it's time to go. His pay is hindering, and I think they lowballed him for him to stay, and they lowballed him because they weren't really interested in having him back. That's just the nature of the business. And at his age, yes, he had a great season last year. A season to speak about for LeBron. And at his age, to have played as much as he did and not have any injuries is remarkable. As we know, after Kobe had his injury, he really wasn't the same at that, when he got later in his career. So I'm okay with that. But let's be honest, they didn't want him back and really couldn't afford to have him back because we saw what happened with that this year. They have some great starting pieces. They have a few pieces on the bench, but they need more. They also need a center. They need a big man to kind of help. A bully ball is where it's going to be at if you're going to compete with San Antonio. It's very clear. Wemby's a great ball player. But if you want to beat Wemby, it's bully ball. He's a toothpick out there that can shoot very well, can take you off the dribble. But physicality wears a guy like that down. Takes away his jump shot a little bit. The legs get a little heavy because you're having to body up with the guy. And I think that's where a lot of teams are going to go, is to be a little bit more physical, a little bit more bigger in the paint to combat what Wemby is able to do. So it'll be interesting to see. But like I said, I think this is it is what it is. And hope he has great time in Phoenix. But I think his time had run its course in Memphis. And yeah, we'll close the show with this. It's ALS is something that is not hereditary. It doesn't matter who you are. You have the ability to get it. Doesn't matter who you are, how great shape you're in, or any of that. It was me and a coworker talked about it. It kind of took your breath away a little bit to find that out. And he almost doesn't even look like himself. And for a guy his stature, strong, and the things he did in the league, it's wild to see. But ALS it's rough, man, and people change really quickly, and it's really unfortunate. There definitely needs to be more research done. I do appreciate his candidness about it, but you can still see the CJ2K and his ability to be able to with his eyes be able to speak. It's really cool they recorded his voice so that he could do that. But yeah, it's tough. That's tough to see, and very unfortunate. And hopefully there can be research done and we can learn more about this disease so that folks can be able to survive it because it happens really quickly. I mean, he noticed weakness in his hand a year ago, and look at where he's at after a year. It's crazy how quickly um, things happen. Um, Last year, he says, speak out to local officials. Funding for a lot of research of those diseases being done is actively being cut. Exactly. That is true. That is very true. Um, and it's unfortunate. I think we've lost the ability to care about humanity. Um, and that's unfortunate. It really is. And I'll leave it at that because I don't do politics and don't really care. But um, yeah, we've lost our ability to really care about humanity and those around us. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that does it for our show. I thank Sadie for taking the time to come on the show. Congratulations. We had Batty the Batty get a win this weekend. That was really cool. Drag race is in a good place, man. It's in a really good place. We're getting really close to football season and training camp, so it's going to be fun. Look, thanks for tuning in, and we will see you again next Tuesday.
Like a crossover sleeper, 4 inches in the cold. Crowd breathing like smoke, and it felt great in my voice when the pressure gets woke. Engine scream through the night. That F1 razor lines cut clean, turn sharp like a hometown savior. NASCAR drift in my blood when the pace get wild. I talk speed like a veteran, move calm like a smile. Legends born out of sweat, out of heartbreaks echo. I break plays down smooth, call the game like a maestro. Every lane that we touch, every story we show, this is where the truth runs. The Not Bland Show. Fast lanes, fast breaks, whole crowd froze. Big drives, deep shots, watch a moment explode. Every angle hit heavy with the champions glow. Step into the kingdom, the Not Bland Show. Fast lanes, fast breaks, whole crowd froze. Big drives, deep shots, watch a moment explode. Every angle hit heavy with the champions glow. Step into the kingdom, the Not Bland Show.